The Zephyrian hunting pack descended through Earth's atmosphere with the confidence of apex predators who had never known defeat. Their sleek vessels cut through the night sky like obsidian daggers, targeting the rural settlement of Cedar Falls, population 847. To the six-limbed reptilian hunters, it seemed perfect, isolated, defenseless, ripe for the taking. Captain Vexhal flexed his razor-sharp claws as he studied the thermal readings. Soft-bodied bipeds, he hissed to his pack. No natural weapons, no armored hide, no enhanced senses. This will be over before the twin moons set. The Zephyrians had built their reputation across 17 star systems as the galaxy's most feared hunters. They had decimated warrior cultures that could shatter stone with their bare hands, hunted sentient predators with acid for blood, and collected trophies from species that could phase through matter. But humans were supposedly the galaxy's greatest joke. Hairless apes who had somehow stumbled into space travel, despite being evolutionarily inferior to nearly every other sapient species. The first landing party touched down at Oro 300 local time, expecting to find sleeping prey. Instead, they found Jake Morrison sitting on his porch, calmly cleaning a rifle that was nearly as old as he was. "Evening," Jake said without looking up. "You boys lost?" Vexhal stepped forward, his bioluminescent threat displays flaring to life. "Primitive creature, you will—" The crack of Jake's rifle cut through the night air. Vexhal's second-in-command dropped, a hole punched clean through his skull. "Now that wasn't very neighborly," Jake said, working the bolt action. "My wife's trying to sleep." What followed shattered every assumption the Zephyrians held about human nature. Within minutes, the rural settlement transformed into a fortress. Humans emerged from seemingly innocent farmhouses carrying weapons that ranged from military-grade assault rifles to antique hunting pieces that could drop an elk at 300 yards. They moved with purpose, not panic, falling into defensive positions that spoke of planning and preparation. Sarah Chen, the local veterinarian, coordinated the defense from her clinic while simultaneously treating wounded neighbors and booby-trapping medical supplies that might fall into alien hands. Doc's got experience, Jake had told the Zephyrians, though they didn't understand. Sarah had served 3 tours as a combat medic before retiring to rural veterinary practice. The town's mechanic, Miguel Santos, had spent the last hour rigging improvised explosive devices from farming equipment and household chemicals. His background in ordnance disposal made him uniquely qualified to create weapons from materials that would have baffled most species. The Zephyrians discovered that humans possessed something unprecedented in galactic society, a species-wide culture of just in case. Nearly every adult human in Cedar Falls had some form of combat training, whether military service, hunting experience, or simple preparedness culture. They stockpiled not just food and water, but ammunition, medical supplies, and knowledge. As the night wore on, the hunting pack found themselves being hunted. Humans moved through terrain they knew intimately, using technology they understood completely, fighting for a home they refused to abandon. The Zephyrians' superior physical abilities meant nothing when humans simply refused to engage them on equal terms. Instead, they fought with ambush tactics that would have impressed a Terran honey badger. They used improvised weapons that violated 17 different galactic warfare conventions. They displayed a disturbing tendency to continue fighting even when seriously wounded, as if pain were merely another tactical consideration. But it wasn't the violence that ultimately broke the Zephyrian hunting pack. It was the realization of what they were truly facing. When young Emma Rodriguez, barely 16 years old, managed to capture a wounded Zephyrian warrior and immediately began providing medical aid instead of executing him, the aliens finally understood their mistake. This wasn't a species of prey animals who had accidentally achieved spaceflight. These were predators who had evolved beyond the need to look like predators. Humans were persistence hunters who had turned that evolutionary trait toward knowledge, technology, and social cooperation. They were a species that could simultaneously wage merciless warfare and show unexpected mercy. They could kill with coldly efficient brutality and then risk their lives to save their enemies. The surviving Zephyrians retreated before dawn, carrying their wounded and their shattered assumptions. Captain Vexhal transmitted a simple message to the Galactic Hunting Guild before jumping to hyperspace. Classification error. Humans are not prey species. Recommend immediate reclassification as apex predators. Advise extreme caution. Back on Earth, Jake Morrison returned to his porch as the sun rose over Cedar Falls. He resumed cleaning his rifle while his wife, Martha, brought him coffee. "Think they'll be back?" Martha asked. Jake considered this while watching the alien ships disappear into the morning sky. "No," he said finally. "But if they are, we'll be ready." The story of Cedar Falls spread through galactic civilization faster than a propaganda broadcast. It joined thousands of similar tales from human colonies across known space. Accounts of agricultural settlements that had repelled military invasions, mining operations that had outfought professional armies, scientific research stations that had somehow defeated dedicated warrior cultures. No predator species hunts on a human world twice because the galaxy has learned a fundamental truth about humanity. They are not the weakest species to achieve spaceflight. They are the most dangerous species to ever evolve the capacity for both warfare and mercy, and they have spread that capacity to every world they touch. The universe has many predators, but only one species has ever learned to be predators by choice rather than nature, and that choice makes all the difference.